3 years after the PS5 was released, what do I feel in those 3 years? Has it been great? Has it been terrible? Well, to be very blunt with you, it has been an amazing 3 years. Let's get into it. What is up, guys? It's your boy Hercules, and we are back at it again. So, if you guys have not seen my Xbox 3 years later video, make sure you go watch that. Make sure you go listen to it. And let me know what you guys think. Maybe you guys disagree, maybe you guys agree, or whatever. This time we're talking about PlayStation 3 years later. And how do I feel about the PlayStation going forward in the 3 years after the release? So, I get it. There's going to be some things I'm going to talk about here that some people are not going to like, because they're going to say, well, wasn't that in the last generation and stuff like that. And that's totally fine. You can actually say that. But let's also be very blunt here. Sony wasn't the only one doing this. We also had Xbox having games coming out that also played on the last gen. But I digress. So 3 years. It's been 3 years since the PS5 was released. And boy, oh boy, have I been having a lot of fun. If you guys remember, one of the games that released with the PS5 on launch day was Spider-Man Miles Morales. But if you got, I believe it was the collector's edition or something, I could be wrong. Oh, the Ultimate Edition, my bad. If you got the Ultimate Edition, you got an extra game. Spider-Man Remaster for the PS5. Now, I get it. Some of you are going to be like, well, that's just a PS4 game. Doesn't count. Fine. You don't want me to use that? That's totally fine. Miles Morales was one of those games that took a lot of heat from people, from Sony's, and from these Xbox. Why? Because the game wasn't as long as Spider-Man. And let's be very clear. Miles Morales isn't Spider-Man. Miles Morales is Miles Morales. Now, is he a good enough character that you can find some enjoyment in there? Yes. Is the world in the Miles Morales universe good? Yes. Is some of the story cringe? Yes. But that's okay. You see, when we started watching stuff coming out for the PS5, you started noticing that, okay, there's a lot of remasters. There's a lot of PS5 upgrade, if you want to say. And there's nothing wrong with that, because we've been seeing that for the Xbox also. But Miles Morales was one of those games that truly it should have been just for the PS5. But they released it for the PS4. And I don't understand why, but okay, whatever. Then we had Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank, to me, is an underdog. This game is phenomenal. It looks beautiful. It plays beautiful. Insomniac, yet again, proving why they are Sony's #1 studio. And I know, some of you are going to say, well, Naughty Dog was Sony's #1 studio. It was at one point. When they were knocking out Uncharted, they were Sony's #1 studio. When they had The Last of Us Part 1, they were Sony's #1 studio. And then they released The Last of Us Part 2. Until this day, I had the game pre-order. I saw the leaks. I heard about the leaks. I went and picked up my game because I bought it. I already paid for it. I could have returned it, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. And as soon as I got, I believe 1 hour, 2 hours into the game, I was like, you know what? I don't want to see my homie, Joel Miller, get killed by a goddamn golf club. And I stopped playing it. My brother played it. He finished it. But I couldn't. And that day, Naughty Dog went from being Sony's #1 studio to taking a back seat behind Insomniac. When I say Ratchet & Clank is a beautiful game, just look at the trailers. Whew! Look at those trailers. But over the 3 years, we started seeing some games here come out that weren't great. What was it? The PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale, something like that. That wasn't good. Godfall, it wasn't good. So not everything was a hit, was a home run for them. They had some strikes. But the thing about this was that the games that were great, you noticed their greatness. You notice Miles Morales. You notice Ratchet & Clank. You notice God of War. You notice all those games. And when you had the Xbox trying to compete with them, you noticed the big old difference. PlayStation was considered to be a very powerful system until the Xbox claimed that they were the most powerful system ever. 12 teraflops, if I'm correct, from what they said. Until this day, I still hear some Xbox claiming that it's the most powerful system ever, yet the facts are there. Xbox isn't the most powerful system. Now, does it have the most powerful specs? Yes. But why is it that they can't run the games better? PlayStation has always beaten Xbox. They claim, well, these companies are definitely favoring PlayStation for some reason. Are they? Or is it that the Xbox just isn't that powerful? Or could it be that maybe it's too powerful that it can't run these games? Look at Starfield, lock at 30 frames per second. And I get it, I hear some people, well, look at the world in building. Look at the world in building of 1,000 planets. How do you expect them to run 60 frames per second? Are you serious? Are you serious? But we'll talk about that another time. When it comes to PlayStation, there's a lot of greatness there. There's been some failures there. But the future looks very bright. We have a game called Final Fantasy coming out. Now, I'm not a big fan of Final Fantasy. I've never been. Well, I never actually played any of the Final Fantasy games. But for some reason, Final Fantasy 16 intrigues me. I've seen some of the gameplay. I don't really like I believe it's the numbers. They pop up like they show the numbers. I really don't like that. Hopefully there's some way you can turn that off. But the game looks incredible. And I keep hearing some people say, oh, the performance is terrible. Really? Why is it that I don't hear that from all these reviewers? The only thing I keep hearing is, the story might not be that great. But a lot of those people that are saying that are people from the Xbox community who claim a game like Hi-Fi Rush was Game of the Year. Okay. Look, PlayStation has every opportunity to become better and better and better. But I do feel that PlayStation has taken a step back. They've gotten overconfident that they know Xbox don't got shit. So why should they rush? Why should they push these products out there? Why should they reveal all their cards? Because let's be very honest, when Xbox has a showcase, everybody claps. They say, oh my God, it was incredible. It was great. But yet when you really look at it, was it really great? It was just a trash ass showcase. Now I'm not sitting here claiming that the Sony showcase was a masterpiece. Hell no. Was it better than the Xbox? Well, I think they achieved more than the Xbox. That's for sure. Because not only did we actually see gameplay instead of 1 second cut, 2 second cut, 3 second cut. That's not gameplay, buddies. That's not gameplay. Gameplay is you let it play and you let the gameplay just flow. Again, could Sony start failing? Can Sony start failing over the years? In the upcoming years, can Sony fail against Xbox? Can they drop the ball? You are 100% correct. If something like that happens, Sony could drop the ball and let Xbox back in this race. Because let's be very honest, nobody cares about Nintendo. And I get it, there's some Nintendo fans out there, but nobody can compete with Nintendo because Nintendo is just one of those video game consoles that one time they have a big hit and another time they don't have a big hit. For some reason, it's always been like that for them. Again, could Sony drop the ball? Yes. Does it look like Sony's gonna drop the ball? I personally don't see it, but you never know. You never, ever know. So 3 years. It's been 3 years since the PS5 was released. And I keep hearing that Starfield is the biggest anticipated game ever. Well, maybe in the marketing department for Starfield, because we keep seeing 25 years in the making, even though we've already gotten multiple games just like that. The most anticipated game that everybody's waiting for is Spider-Man 2. Whether you like it or not, the race for Game of the Year is between Final Fantasy, Zelda, Spider-Man 2, and whatever other game gets thrown in there. Most likely it won't be Xbox. Let's just be frank. I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below. If you guys agree, if you guys disagree, jump down in the comments, leave a like, leave a dislike, whatever you want. Share the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.